go. Hello, everyone. Welcome again to another edition of Lupus Talks. My name is Ed Peterson. Well, another edition of Lupus Talks, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to our YouTube channel, and as well as going to the website at lupusofnevada.org, where you can get all the information. And today's topic will be done by, of course, Calvini Williams and Miss Dolores Olson. I call it the dynamic duo of lupus, and they're here to give you some shared information that's going to be impactful to what you are dealing with and those who you know, loved ones or friends that you know, who are also suffering from an autoimmune disease. So, with that, I'm going to take it away. Dr. Williams, go ahead.
Hi, thank you. Thank you, Ed. I appreciate it. I hope everyone is doing well out there and having the good quality of life that we want to have. If not, call a buddy and a friend and talk to them and see if you can get a happy note for that day, because it's very important for all of us. Contact us. You know, we have a lot of happy times in our life and we like to share them. Also, I'd like people to remember to subscribe, to like, to share. It's so important for us, and that's what we're trying to develop the website more and more and more, the podcast, I should say, more and more and more. Today, we're going to be talking about lupus and menopause. It's very important. I'm going to hand you over to my co-host, which is Dolores, and she's going to talk about lupus and menopause, but she can because she's going through that right now. And I've already talked to her, so I haven't violated any HIPAA laws. So, Dolores, here you go.
Hello, everybody. How you guys doing today? You gotta kind of excuse me. I'm trying to talk in and out. I just coming over with COVID and that, but we're talking about menopause. With menopause, it can hit you at any age. It can. Some people go through it early, and some people go through it at like I'm 52 years old. So some people go at from age 30 and all the way up to 52. Some people go through it. It just depends on uh, their condition. Everybody's different and that. But a lot of things happens when you're going through menopause, because I am going through menopause. I am menopause now. And the signs is of menopause. You will get irregular periods, hot flashes, night sweats, vagina dryness, mood changes, sleep disturbance, and decreased libido. You can do that's what happens. When you're going through menopause. So the irregular periods, they may become more or less freaking lighter or heavier or stop altogether. Hot flashes it'll just suddenly just come up. The hot flashes, which that's what I get. I get hot flashes. Increase heat, often accompanied by sweating and flushing. That's what happened to me. And you get the night sweats, hot flashes that occur during sleep, and of course the vagina dryness, reduce location, which can cause discomfort during in intercourse, if you're in a relationship or something like that. And so it could be very uncomfortable for you. And you get the mood changes, irritability, anxiety,
Yeah.
depression, and mood swings. And of course, with the sleep too, and you get headaches too. You get breast soreness, brain fog, joint pain. So there's a lot of things that happens in that. And so when we get, that's why we got to really inform our doctors about everything that we're going through. And we can't shortcut it, because they can't help us with anything if we're shortcutting anything. And so if you have any signs of that, like I'm taking supplements for it, but you always ask your doctor before you take anything. But this helps for me. I'm taking it, and it's helping with my moods. It helps with, and it's strictly for menopause, and it has no chemicals in it. And so this helps with the menopause. So I'm not having as much hot flashes like I used to. It's starting to calm down, because I've been on it for now 3 weeks. about it'll be about a month. It'll almost be a month that I've been on the product, and so that's helping me a lot with that because the first beginning with me being without the supplements, I was just really disturbed out of my sleep. I couldn't sleep. I'll just get up. I'll just be insomnia. This the staring out there because I can't sleep right because of the hot flashes. But one thing too, when you get those hot flashes and stuff, you gotta really do is you gotta watch out with your sugar because sugar will cause it to raise up more of those hot flashes. So you gotta be careful with your diet as well. If you have a well balanced diet, it'll help you. Like you can really research on a lot of things to help you with your to help you when you're going through it, the kind of diets, a healthy lifestyle that you take, and exercise too, because the exercise is really good. The yoga is common, meditation and prayer, of course, and meditation. And so that helps with when you're going through menopause. So the more you could do is if you be open about your problems that you have, you got to let somebody know I'm going through this. I'm not feeling right because if you don't let them know, they're not going to know. They're not going to know why you're flaring up. They're not going to know why is she flipping out or something like that. Because everybody's different. But with me, I was just mainly mild moody, but not real bad until I took some supplements. So I'm more ease with the supplements. But like I said, you always ask your doctor because everybody is different.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. What supplements can you share that you're taking? That you're taking.
Okay, the ones that I'm taking, I'm pulling it out now. It's through Melaleuca, and I'm gonna spell it out for you because I know I'm getting kind of winded out a
That's
little bit.
okay.
Okay, and so it's called estrabon. I'm gonna spell it out for you. It's ESTRAVAL. That's what I take, and that's through Melaleuca,
Mm-hmm.
and that's really good. Everybody is different when they take this. Everybody has different results, but it seems to working for me. I almost allergies right now, and it lasts us like 30 days because you take 2 capsules a day.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
it seems like the first beginning when you first take it, of course you're not gonna feel anything the first time. But when once the weeks go by, you'll start seeing a little bit difference, and that's when I noticed I was seeing a little bit difference with my body, and I started to cool down more.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, everybody is different. But there was a lot of testimonies on it that it worked for them,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
so it works pretty good.
I wanted to ask if I guess I can attest to this. Menopause can significantly impact lupus symptoms and hormonal changes, potentially worsening or elevating certain symptoms. Worsening symptoms, it says, and it's coming right out of, what is it? It's coming right out, the co-pilot search. It says for some individuals, menopause may exacerbate lupus symptoms. Common menopause symptoms such as joint pain, fatigue, cognitive fog, and overlap with lupus symptoms makes it challenging to distinguish between the two. Now, the question that I have is, and I know it varies, when do women stop menopause? Do you know? Did your doctor talk to you about that?
You have to really discuss it with your everybody's different because some people, to tell
Okay.
you the truth, this is kind of some people were still going through menopause up to they 70 years old. Yes, ma'am, they did.
See, wow.
So everybody is different. It's kind of it's
Hmm.
kind of it's kind of weird. You would think that at age 70 that you wouldn't have it, but
That's right. Don't
some people, everybody's different. So everybody's different.
it says in a study they did in 2024 that they found that systemic lupus seems to increase the risk of primary ovarian insufficiency. Primary ovarian insufficiency is a condition when your ovaries stop working as usual before you reach the age of 40 years. Have you heard that? I'm just now reading that, and that's something else, as you reach the age of 40 years. And I had my issues all the way up till maybe 59, Dolores, 59 years old. Because every time I went in, even now they ask me, I said no. But 59 is when I actually stopped everything, you know. And it was very difficult for me. Yes, it was, because I had the flare-ups. You know, I had to monitor my flare-ups during the menopause. I had to reroute my lifestyle changes, regular exercise, and nutrient-rich diet, you know, to support my bone health. I also had to adjust lupus medications as needed to help manage my symptoms and help your weight, my weight. I had to do that. And the bottom line is lupus and menopause can interact in complex ways, and it really can. With menopause sometimes worsening lupus symptoms, or in other cases providing symptom relief. Now, early menopause is more common among people with lupus. And I wanted to let you know, let the audience know that often due to inflammation or medication use. There's so many medications that I'm taking that I don't know which one is helping, which one is hurting, which one is doing this and that. And that's what my new doctors are looking at now. But it disturbs me. It bothers me because while hormone therapy can help and manage menopause, it can also pose risk to lupus flares. And I have a lot of flares that have been, you know, coming up most recently. I feel much better today. Honestly, I do. Honestly, I feel like I have life, and I just want to keep it, you know, going, because there was times I couldn't get up out of the bed the past few weeks. Excuse the noise in the background. My Shar-Pei is drinking water. So excuse me. If I go get him, he's going to make some noise, so I'll leave it alone. It just, I didn't want to do anything. So I'm thinking that menopause can hurt that situation with inflammation, where with menopause and lupus, that will be a target right there where you just don't want to do anything. Sometimes your body just plays out and you're just there. You don't want to exercise. And you know, they have there's mental problems, our mental health during menopause. You know, we have to manage that, and that could be through a therapist. I have a therapist, and I'm saying for me, um, and that might be one of the individuals that can help. Someone to talk to. Someone to talk to. A lot of people don't want to talk to us because they think we're whining all the time. Whine, whine, whine. You can even get to your kids and they don't want to hear it because they don't want to look at the closest, you know, at your age. First of all, they look your age, your sickness, and death. If you're close to an older age, they don't want to talk about it. They want to see mama the way she was 20 years ago. You know, could go out there and do this, do that, and just have a ball doing it. But that's not the case now. When you're suffering with different things like this, like menopause, and you're having lupus or diverticulitis or discoid lupus, where it's so hot you can't get out there because your body burns, that's a problem. Or your oxygen, they're testing me pulmonary for my oxygen situation now, to see, because I just run out of oxygen. Like, you know, I'm serious, I'm depleted. It's like before you get to a gas station, you know that you're below E, and you better get there because you hear the car puffing, 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 puffing. Well, it's the same thing in my case. You know, I had to watch it, you know, when I go outside. Like this morning, I had to go out way early this morning, you know, to my dentist, and then to take care of some store grocery shopping and things like that for the family. And I was just praying to God, please get me there and get me back, because it was hot then. It was 95 degrees then, but there was overcast and the wind was blowing, like the wind just got through blowing now. So these are the things, Dolores, you know, you agree that we have to be aware of other conditions that may that may compound the menopause. Your thoughts? Any thoughts on that?
Yes, yes. Because it's so much. Like I said, I explained a lot of them too about it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and some could get really bad that even when they have to take that, they get their uterus taken, you know, and then they really sends them into that to the menopause real bad.
Mm-hmm.
Some people have bad cases. Everybody's is different. Like I said in the beginning, I noticed in the beginning years ago when I noticed, but that was perimenopause. But I believe I'm at regular menopause now
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because the
Mm-hmm.
difference is no ministrations. I stopped my ministration. And
Mm-hmm.
so,
Mm-hmm.
also too, it could sneak up on you too. So you could always, even if you came at menopause, you could still come back and have your period later, like a year later. That's what happened to some folks. They had their period a year later.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So everybody is different. They'll say, "Oh, I'm free. I'm free. I don't have no periods." And then a year came, the period came back.
Mm-hmm.
So that can happen, but that doesn't mean that you're at perimenopause. That you're still at menopause,
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
that's how it could stop. Because see, then it could stop again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hmm.
So
Well,
everybody is this, they have a different experience. Like people couldn't believe that I was going through it because see, I'm so calm.
oh,
And,
really?
yeah, I'm more calm in that because
That
I
was a
know
joke.
how yeah. I know how I know how to care for this because I recognize those symptoms. So I know what to do. I know
Yeah.
what to take. I've been researching, and that's good. Get your education.
Now,
You know.
but you know what you just said, and what I just found on this on here was Healthline, HealthThine, Healthline, health conditions, wellness tools, featured connect. Now, here's a chart I'm going to send to our website. And it says with this, it says fluctuating moods. While menopause is sometimes stereotyped as a time of irritability and and mood swings, problems sleeping, insomnia, weight gain, frequent urination, night sweats, hot flashes. Now I want to say all of this I have right now. And there's no way I could have menopause right now. Is that correct? You're not a doctor, but just bear with me. I have all this right now. I should discuss it with my doctor, huh? Dolores?
Anything you discuss with your doctor. Like I said, everybody, because even with health conditions, like I said, that if with health conditions, everybody is different. Some people not
Wow.
going through it anymore, but they still have the same symptoms. Because sometimes, even with me too, I could sometimes you could get that little link too. That little link goes
Mm-hmm.
on with everybody. It's like, oh
Mm-hmm.
my
Mm-hmm.
goodness, why that happened? But that's just how it is.
Well,
It will do that.
at least half of it I have because I see I rolled down a little bit more. It says stopping of periods, long time ago, vaginal dryness, bone fractures, lowered sex drive. Oh, I thought I heard something. And it said estrogen and progesterone are the primary female hormones related to reproduction. When ovarian function declines with age, ovarian doesn't occur regularly. This leads to irregular or missed periods. You see, that's what they're saying here. Eventually, the ovaries stop altogether, and the periods stop completely. This results in lower levels of estrogen and proestrogen production of your ovaries. That explained it right there, huh? And it says, while your period may have been changing over the last several years, you don't technically hit menopause until your monthly period has stopped completely. That's very important. You don't technically hit menopause until your monthly period has stopped completely. Isn't that something? This means your body stops producing eggs for fertilization. Without the shedding of unfertilized eggs every month, no more menstruation. Estrogen, on the other end, includes hormones responsible for reproduction. These include the hormones related to menopause, or in this case, a lack thereof, estrogen and proestrogen. Hot flashes, we need to talk about that, Dolores. You have a lot of hot flashes, are among the most talked about effects of menopause. These occur from a lack of estrogen. They can also last a few years after menopause. Can you believe that hot flashes causes feelings of sudden hotness? You know, along with flushed skin, sweating, they can come suddenly. Now, when you walk, do you have that hot flash where, if it's hot out there, but you are having that hot flash? Does that come at the same? Well, let me restate that because that sounds somebody may not get it. When you're out there in the sun, do you have hot flashes? That's the question.
Yeah, definitely, definitely, definitely.
You have
Cause
hot
that
flashes out
heat,
there?
when you get the when that heat gets down on me, and bad enough I wear my wigs. I feel
Don't
like
forget that.
taking off that wig because it gets so hot. That's what I do with the short dudes. And during this
I
time
did
of
that.
season.
I did that. My brother was so embarrassed. I was having hot flashes so bad I snatched that wig off in the car while I was driving. he looked at me. He said, when we got to the stoplight, and I know the other people were laughing over there, he said, I had hair. I got hair. So, I wasn't no shame in that game. I just sit up there and snatched it off. And I
Yeah,
just
put a scarf
waved at
on
him.
something.
Yeah, because it's hot. Anything, if you could snatch your clothes off, you would, But what I tend to do, and I didn't mean to cut you off, but I wanted to say before my mind zips back into another world, I have a fan. I had the fan that I take with me. Not I had the old one that people were using. Now I have this new one. I was gonna send you something on it where it's round and you can clip it to your body and the air will come up underneath your clothes. You know what I'm talking about? Have you seen that advertisement?
Oh,
Oh,
that's interesting to know
oh,
because the one that I have is one of those ones that you can hold or you put around your neck. You know,
that's old time. But
that's at the it's if the one it's a USB cord one,
yeah,
so you can
I
charge it up. I
I
think you
had
charge it
that
up every
too.
8 hours.
I had that
But
too.
that's interesting to know about that one. I never seen
Yeah,
those
I
ones.
have that. Plus, I have another one that just came in here that is really good. And I probably, I'll send it to you. I don't know. I have to ask Ed. I don't know if that would be advertising, putting those fans on. I think it would, and they wouldn't allow it. So I'll send it. If anyone wants to know about it, they can contact me, on, or contact you, either one of us on Lupus of Nevada. But I have my fan with me at all times. Now, when I get to the point where I can't breathe, that's why they're doing the pulmonary. And what I tend to do is, and I told all the old, I call it the OGs of lupus way back when, 20 years ago, I let them know, get you a tumbler, put crushed ice in it, and sip on that the whole day. Put some water in it and sip in it the whole day. And if you stick your nose down in that tumbler and you're drinking it, and you feel much better because you can breathe. That you can breathe oxygen. So that's what I tend to do when I don't have anything else. I can't reach for anything. I just can't breathe. And as I get older, I feel that more and more and more. And that's not pity party time. That's real time. So, I rhymed that, huh, Dolores?
Oh yeah, and exactly too. And menopause too, just like with as lupus and and stuff. Should talk about lupus, but when menopause too, sometimes you feel so hot that you feel out of breath because that's the anxiety that comes
Yeah,
up on you.
yeah, you do. I mean, I felt, I didn't know what was going on. Even now, when I leave out, I have my fan or my fans with me because I had issues with that. And that can lead to passing out. And ladies and gentlemen on here, if you go out somewhere, you don't know if you're going to pass out or not. But what I've been doing, because I love jewelry, shoes, That's Tanisha. Matter of fact, Dolores the same way. That's why we get along so well. One of the reasons, and then because we're in the bloodline together. But I've noticed I have stopped wearing those expensive any rings, and to be very subtle, I wear them because I cannot measure what's going to happen to me out there, you know. And people, anything can come up missing. You go to the hospital, you make sure you take all your jewelry off. They tell you that. Give it to your family member, leave it at home, let them take it off of you, whatever, because they're not responsible for trying to find out who took what. And the same way I feel when I'm out there in the public, you know, and I'm doing some kind of presentation or whatever. I have a family member with me, so if something does happen, you know, they know they'll be the first one on the spot with the paramedics, you know, knowing what needs to be taken off, you know, with the paramedics, letting them know, no, we got to take this jewelry off. And that's what we do. And he would end up taking it off me, not them, you know, me, him, I should say. So those are the things you should think about too, you know, because you're already in a situation, state of mind is you're upset, you're scared, you don't know what's happening, you can't figure out what happened last time, where were you at when you passed out. All that is just basically a blur. So these are the things you need to understand and read about them. Read about menopause and lupus and menopause, period, because it's so important to know the game. If you know the game, you can actually play in the game. But it's just, I see a lot of things, people call me up and ask me, you know, and that's one of the things I tell them. That's what they need to do. And Dolores and I are always on the phone talking about different things with menopause, with lupus, with high blood pressure, with family members having certain things in the family that we know about, and we discuss. So that would be good topics. Like next week, we're going to be talking about, and Dolores and I have to get together on that. We're going to be talking about, I went to a seminar just recently, and it was stem cell research, stem cell. And one of the physicians come into your house and stick you with stem cells. You got 50 billion of them running in your body. I let people know you need to talk to your doctor before you let somebody come in the house, even if it's a nurse practitioner, come in and stab you with a needle. Not stab you, but, you know, dot you with a needle. And they don't know the conditions of your body. They look at all your medications and everything. We were there listening to all of it. But I think that'd be a pretty good topic to talk about is stem cell, because it's getting very popular using cells. They talked about the, what is it, the placebo, the cord, umbilical cord. They talked about that, how that is so healthy and being able to get your hands on that. But it's still out on testing. It's still out on testing. We need to understand that. So that should be a good topic, Dolores, you know, for next week. But we're not going to give up on this menopause thing because it's major, you know. Menopause can cause your body to preserve energy more, and which that means you won't burn calories. You will not burn calories. I forgot to tell you that the other day. It can cause you to preserve more energy, you know, to preserve energy, but you will not burn calories and fat as easily because it has reserved energy more due to menopause. Did you know about that, Dolores?
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. But you have to really. That's why I said you're gonna have to really focus on your healthy lifestyle because you just can't eat like you used to, and that's why
Mhm.
they recommend you to do strength training. You know,
Mhm.
that's the
Mhm.
best to turn it
Mhm.
around for menopause. A
Mhm.
lot of people have successfully lost the weight because you cannot do all that cardio. A lot of that cardio. There's
Mhm.
some
Mhm.
cardio you can do, but you can't do a lot of them because it bloats you up.
Mhm.
And then you
Mhm.
thinking that you're exercising that, and all of a sudden you're getting chubby again. That's because
Mhm. Mhm.
we're doing the wrong exercise. When you have when you're and you feel all bloated really
Mhm.
bad, and that is because of the menopause. We just cannot do certain exercises like we used to, and that's why they recommend Pilates. You know, strength training.
I'm glad you mentioned that because on this site, Healthline, it talks about estrogen. It talks about cardiovascular system, and it said estrogen exerts, a cardioprotective effect on the body, and lower levels of estrogen may increase the risk of cardiovascular disease. Lower levels of estrogen also affect the body's cholesterol, which could increase the risk of a heart attack or stroke. Your doctor may recommend hormone replacement, which is HRT, to counteract some of these changes. However, it is unclear whether HRT for menopause reduces your heart disease risk. That was connecting what you were saying, and I just happened to be scrolling down and hit that cardiovascular.
Yeah, and that's why it's really good too. And also, there's a good book too. I wouldn't mind sharing onto the site. Take a picture
Okay.
and send it on there. It's excellent for menopause. Oh my goodness, I recommend every woman should have that book.
Tell Ed, ask Ed to put it on the site so they can do some reading on that too.
All right, so Ed, we could put that on the site. I'll send you the picture in that.
Mm-hmm.
That is really really helpful. This lady is she's just phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
She breaks it down to the nitty to the gritty about everything.
Mm-hmm. 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 Well, this also says the takeaways of menopause bring significant changes in a woman's hormone levels, especially estrogen, which can result in various physical and emotional symptoms. If you ever wonder why you just sitting up there crying, crying, crying. I mean, I do that. I'll be in my room, just something has touched my heart. I'm reading the Word of God and just something touched me. I know it was the Holy Spirit. I know that's what, and I just start crying. I just start crying. Now it's something else. Or you think about what happened to who it happened to, people that were with you years ago, supporting the cause, and they're gone. And you have to think about they were there and they helped develop the cause, develop the cause while they were there. So now you have their spirits on your shoulder, you know, to keep on going until it's time for you to walk off this earth. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly how I look at it now, because they talk about the takeaways of menopause bring significant changes in a woman's hormone level. Again, like I said, emotional symptoms. Now, if you're experiencing discomfort during this time, it may be helpful to consult a doctor. That's why I have a therapist. They can discuss treatment options that may relieve your symptoms and support you and support your well-being. Most of the time, Dolores, they get up there and tell you, well, what's wrong with you? And you explain to them, I don't know. That's why I'm here. I don't get smart. Well, that's why I'm here to talk to you, because my emotions are all over the place, and I can't figure it out. Uh, I know the lupus has a lot to do with it. I know it brings back memories of when, where, family, like Mother's Day and things that have happened to Father's Day. There are a lot of people that were aching because their family members have passed and they don't know how to reach out to others to try to, you know, let them know, please help me. There's a help, it makes me feel that there should be a helpline on our lupus site, something help me, call, send me something or something. We're talking about that because it's really sad because you're out there on that rope, like you're in a circus and nobody really knows how it feels like, what it is, menopause, yes, no, they know what it is and they don't know what it is, and then they ignore it. And some ways of ignoring it that they do is through drinking, drugs, and all of that. So basically, if they were having a significant explosion of menopause, they wouldn't know it because they would be so psyched out on whatever that they chose to take for themselves. It's like there's no help could come around. You see what I'm talking about, Dolores? You
Yes,
see?
exactly.
Yeah, and that's what they do. They don't have a basic treatment that, they go talk to their doctor and they say, oh, that's okay. Because first thing he gonna ask you, and you know me from years, how are you doing? And I let him know I'm not doing too good. If you go in there and tell them, oh, I'm doing fine and this is happening, and then no. You go in there and let them know, they should want a scale from 1 to 10, how do you feel? I'd let them know. And it's the truth, 9 plus. So that's an explosion plus for me, you know. And that's what they need to do is go in there and really feel their aches and their pains and don't walk out of that office without that journal, because I journal everything. And menopause is the thing that you should be journaling, being journal on the symptoms, and if there are any treatment options that you've read online, share that with your doctor. Is that something you've done, Dolores, or?
Yeah, I make sure that I take track, because now I noticed that I didn't have my menstruation for 2 months now.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is a definitely sign.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, it could sneak back a year later too. You could be off for a year and then it could sneak back on you.
Mm-hmm.
That had to happen to people before, but that doesn't mean anything. You're still going through menopause.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Are there any other ailments that come with this menopause? Like you already have lupus and all these. I know I have a lot of things that, with this, but for the newcomers that are coming on board, what would you suggest from them? What would you tell them if they have just encountered a menopause attack? How would you tell them from 1 to 5 or 1 to 10 what they need to do?
Well, first of all, what I ask the questions, about okay, how you feeling? How what is your symptoms? That's one thing. So that way it could determine what it is. And then they always of course you go to they check with the doctor, because everybody's different. They run different. Everybody's different through menopause. It's not necessarily. Some people may fall into a couple of categories, of menopause, and some may have the the full of it. So everybody's different.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
everybody's different.
What if you had someone to come up to you and say, "Well, Dolores, I'm on holistic health. How would you, what would you talk to them about? Are you connected to holistic health in relation to menopause?"
Well, it's good if somebody give you a card and they let you know that they are this accent. Say you can. I mean, it doesn't hurt to ask questions, because
Yeah.
holistic health is very good. Those are very good people. I'm tell you one thing. They have a lot of things, but they're going to ask you a lot of questions. Of course,
Yeah.
answer them and be
Mm-hmm.
truthful how you feel. Because the more you open up, the more you can get help about it. But when you
Yeah.
close, like they always say, a closed mouth don't get fed, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so you gotta really speak up about how you feeling, because if you're not, then how would they know how to treat your
Mm-hmm.
symptoms?
So what I'm hearing you say with the steps is the treatment, the holistic health, the weight management, the mental well-being, the symptom management, and navigating intimacy with your partner. That's what I'm hearing all in a nutshell that they need to be aware of, right?
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly, exactly. That's very very important, especially with your in your relation. If you're in a relationship, you always want to let them know how
Mm-hmm.
you feeling, what you're going through. This is what
Mm-hmm.
happening, so they'll understand you. If they
Mm-hmm.
understand you, if you have a really good partner that understands you,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But
Mm-hmm.
just really be open about it.
Mm-hmm. And it's good to keep that journal where it's like, I purchased some journals just now, the other day on Amazon, and I used to do that, when I'm writing letters to Jesus. I mean, that's my Jesus journal. But it dawned on me I need a personal, another journal about my health and how do I feel today? Is it yes, no, no, yes? What is aching? What am I going to do about it? Those things. And I think the journal that women should keep in their purse should, start journaling, start doing that. Do you do that?
Oh yes, that's very good. It's very very good to journal. I love doing that, because see when you journal, it helps you with your thoughts, how you feelings. You can write down your feelings in there,
Thought patterns.
and how like they said, they had this one that you write down how you feel and then you reverse it, and inverse it to positive and say that I was feeling like this, but now I'm feeling like this.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of
Mm-hmm.
like a thing, but you have to write your true feelings first,
Mm-hmm.
and then you turn around and you change it into change it into positive. It's
Mm-hmm.
that,
Mm-hmm.
well, I feel even though that I felt this way like that, now I'm getting better.
Yes.
It's a
Yes.
kind of it helps a lot when you reverse it, because that way you're not saying
Mm-hmm.
it's sounding like you're doubting yourself, because we
Mm-hmm.
don't want to doubt
Mm-hmm.
ourselves. We're here for healing, but that helps with healing.
Mm-hmm.
But first of all, you just write down how you really feel, and then you just reverse it.
Mm-hmm. Well, if I'm thinking about when I'm writing down what was going on with me with my arms. Like I said, I couldn't hardly, really, I couldn't move them. I call it partial um, paralysis, if that's what the word is for it. And I thought about, my muscle mass being lost, and what do I do? Because it felt as though, I didn't have the muscles that I used to have. I couldn't pick up things. I couldn't turn things on, containers in the refrigerator. I had to call uh, my brother, who was my basically caregiver. Every time I needed some, he would come and knock on the door like he just did earlier. Ed's going to be online in a little while, and you should get up and get ready for the show. Now, things like that, it irritated me, but I stopped and said, you know what? He did a kind thing for me. I got 10 minutes with me on the show, and Dolores and everybody in the family on the phone talking and laughing. I better, didn't we say that? Let's get off the phone.
Yes, you
Um,
sure did.
so, I'm thinking about the mask, but I'm also thinking about I feel much better. I don't know if it's because of change of weather or because I've actually spotted out where I'm hurting. I've taken much care in that. I did get some muscle joint supplements, MSM, for me, and it's made a world of a difference. This is the 6th day, and I take like 3 to 4 a day, and I'm doing much better in the heating pad and everything. So you just have to be aware, aware of you. You are the keeper of your castle. You have that lock that can unlock the door. Can't nobody else unlock that castle if you don't let them in. And that's how I feel about it now. You got to be patient with yourself, and have one step at a time. Of course, that one step is going to end up in backing up about a whole week, but then you have to start over and say, okay, the week is ended. Let me see where I'm at. And I did stretch, Dolores. I was up here stretching, trying to stretch those muscles. It hurt, but I was stretching. So it's just like, you can do it. That's what I'm saying. That you can do it. We can do it. We can get it done. Is that your thoughts too?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. I agree.
Okay. Okay. I don't know, Ed. We went past our half an hour. Edward, I don't want to take advantage. Some people take advantage. Some people take advantage. Edward, hello. Earth to Edward. I guess he's talking to somebody. I guess we.
Where's Ed? Like they said, where's Waldo?
Oh my goodness. Hello. Yeah, well.
And Waldo.
He gonna play back this tape. I'm sorry, and we talking about you.
I know I left y'all hanging. I'm sorry. You know what?
Where's Waldo?
I'm like, wait a minute. I said, hey, did we get off the call? Did we get off the Zoom?
No, we did. We had a good time. We talked about everything.
Oh my goodness, you guys are great. Thank you for holding down the fort with Lupus Talks. And I'm really excited for you guys for this month of July. As we start the new month out, we gotta really try to keep it moving forward. So thank you for everyone for tuning in. We're going to be posting this also on the website, as well as YouTube channel, as well as Facebook. We're also on Facebook. Lupus of Nevada is on Facebook. Please check us out there as well. Any questions or inquiries you have, you can fill out the form on the website as always, and we'll be happy to get back with you. And we have so many good things going on with our AI chatbot that everybody get a chance to understand how that works on your website. So on my podcast this Thursday, I'm going to be talking about that too. So that's going to be another plus to help entrepreneurs, churches, and nonprofit organizations across the country how to utilize this tool. So that way they don't have to do all the legwork or hire anybody or anything on that level. They can just have this done for them on their behalf. So this is a really good opportunity for us to all grow in the communities that we serve as servant leaders, so that way we can continue to build on a regular, consistent basis.
Amen.
So any final thoughts before we hang it up?
I'd like to say, just continue your journey. Continue your journey. You know, it's so important. You got to find out who you are and where you're going, not where Mary, Joe, Jane has gone, because you're not a carbon copy of them. You know,
That's
you're
right.
a special imprint that God has basically, you know, you're in his image, but you're different than they are. So I let people know is stay prayed up, get your life together, focus on you.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm sorry, Dolores Olsen.
And then the next, be truthful. It's not bad. It helps you. So when you're being truthful and you just really being open about things, it's not hurting you. It's only helping you to be better.
Amen.
All right. I love that. Well, that being said, thank you all again for this edition of Lupus Talks. Until next week, we will see you again, and keep building the faith, ladies and gentlemen. Keep building your dreams. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.